Preventing tantrums, tool number one, clear and consistent rules. Do you have clear rules or boundaries in your family? Maybe that only 30 minutes of screen time every day, or chocolates only on Saturdays. I'm sure some of you are thinking, well, I'd love to have such limits, but rules don't really go down too well with my toddler. I know what you mean. While it does seem like rules are restrictive and so much against the very playful, random, and limit pushing nature of toddlers, the fact is, toddlers need limits. Yes, they have a natural urge to exercise their power and push those limits, yet, a world without limits is extremely scary for a little human. Imagine yourself on a completely new planet. You don't know what to expect, you don't know where there's danger, and you have the massive responsibility of figuring out how things work on this planet and keeping yourself safe. It's scary, isn't it? A world without limits does not feel safe. On the other hand, healthy limits that are communicated clearly, well in advance, and consistently stick to gives your toddler a sense of predictability and therefore a sense of safety. And when their brain feels safe, it can be calm without meltdowns. Rules also help your child's developing higher brain to be engaged in keeping a check on the aggressive feelings and tantrums that might erupt when you say no to something. If something has been established and is communicated as a rule, your child will learn to accept and adapt to those rules with time. Living by rules is not just necessary for peaceful parenting, but it's also such an important thing for a child to learn so he can grow up to be a sensible member of the society, living by the necessary rules that keep him and others safe. So here's what you need to know to get started with setting clear rules, limits, or boundaries for your toddler that will help you protect your sanity and give your toddler the much needed sense of predictability and security. Number one, create and decide the rules in advance with all the details. At the end of this lesson, based on what you've learned, take a few minutes to pen down some rules which you want to have in your family. So, what are some rules that you can set for your child? You, as the calm, confident coach and the head of your family, must decide the rules based on your personal and family values. And you can set rules for your child considering their health and safety, rules that help you protect your sanity. You could also create certain rules for yourself, like I'll intervene or say no to my child only when there's damage to person or property. This is a personal rule that I follow, that I've set for myself, which helps me ensure I'm not just always saying no to my toddler every minute of the day. You know, that can happen. Here's few examples of rules you can have for your child. You decide the big things, the what, when, and how. For example, what's the rule? Screen time only for 30 minutes in a day. When? After lunch. How? With a time. Another rule. Chocolate treats only one per day. When? Snack time. How? The child can choose with chocolate. Now, for some of you, one chocolate per day might not be acceptable. So set the rule based on what's in line with your own values and which you can consistently stick to, no matter what. Number two, once you've decided on the rule, it's important to communicate it to your child in advance with simple words and gestures. So in a calm moment, you can explain to your child, say in this case to a 3+ year old, you know what, I'm really worried about your eyesight because of too much iPad. So from today, I'll set an alarm for 30 minutes. In those 30 minutes, you can choose what you like to do on the iPad. When the alarm rings, I'll help you turn the iPad off. Sometimes you might have to communicate the rule as and when the situation arises. For example, say your 2-year-old is hitting you because you said no to something. So you'll gently block his hands and say in simple words and gestures, it's okay to be angry. It's not okay to hit me. It hurts. You can hit this pillow instead. 3. Finally, once you've created and communicated the rule, you're free. Now it's your toddler's job to stick with the rule. Absolutely not. I'm kidding, of course. In fact, you now play the most important role of helping your toddler stick with the limits. How do you do that? Repeat, repeat, repeat as many times as the situations arise in the same manner with the same words and gestures and actions. Repetition helps the rules stick in your child's brain. And it's not really about just verbally reminding them of the limit 100 times while they're busy with their business and not paying attention. It's about taking action too, to help them stick with the limit when they can't. So when you've reminded about the limit once and they still find it hard to stick with it, you will need to help them out physically. For example, you set an alarm for their screen time. You give a heads up 1 minute prior saying, the alarm will ring in a minute. What's the last thing you want to do? Then we'll go for a bath. And when the alarm rings, your toddler begins to beg and plead, Mommy, please, one more, one last, please. It's natural, it's expected. So what do you do then? You will stick with the limit. I know you really want to play more. I can't let you. It's time for a bath. I'm going to help you switch off the iPad and I'll carry you to the bathroom. Or do you want to walk to the bathroom yourself? The most important thing is that you consistently stick with the rule in every situation, no matter what. Someone once said, rules are meant to be broken. I'm sure that someone did not have a toddler. Do not make the mistake of breaking the rules you create. It's natural for your toddler to be upset with the limits you set. But we've already learned how to handle those situations with the pause, right? So make sure you create rules that you are confident you can consistently stick with. So is it never okay to be flexible with the rule or limit? Well, if your toddler is throwing a tantrum because of the limit, never even think of giving up on the limit in the middle of the tantrum. Also, some rules like no hitting can never be broken. In some situations, say your child isn't feeling well, he hasn't eaten anything, but asks for an extra snack, which is against your rule. You can decide based on the situation if you want to allow that, but do so without bringing too much attention to the breaking of the rule. Don't say, okay, I'm giving you one more just because you're sick. Don't say that. Just give it. When they're fine, they'll most likely not demand it. If they do, you can simply uphold the rule. If they ask, but why did you give me then that day? I know, we've given birth to really intelligent munchkins. In that case, give them a genuine answer that you were concerned about them being hungry. That's why. So you see, there is scope for some flexibility, which is completely based on your judgment of the situation. Don't worry about making mistakes with your judgment. Just learn from them and do better next time. Finally, the most important rule for you: model and live the rules in front of your child. If you set a rule like no TV during meal times, you cannot say, it's okay, mama is big, mama can watch. No, no, no. Your toddler learns the most by watching you, which is why, once again, make sure you set rules that you can stick with and model too. I can safely summarize this lesson as say what you mean and do what you say. As simple or as tough as that. As you stick with your limits consistently, it will surprise you how slowly your toddler becomes in charge of the rules and tells you what the rule is. Like my daughter, she's the one who ensures that the TV is off before meal times. That's a win, isn't it? Plus, it gives her a boost of positive power as well. Plus, over time, your toddler learns to accept the limits you set without the need to burst out emotionally into a tantrum every time. Win, win, win for all. Now, I hear some of you say, I'm not really a very disciplined person myself, or I don't want to be like an army officer with my child. I hear you. Firstly, we are not really being an army officer who's barking orders at the child. We are the calm, confident coach who has set the rules of the game to avoid confusion and chaos, and we gently keep reminding our players about the rules and we help them live by the rules. Secondly, if you're a random, not so disciplined person yourself, and if you feel a sense of chaos in your family, it's a sign that it's time to introduce a bit of structure, as much as you need and can handle, in order to calm the chaos. I'll share more about bringing in structure in your day in the next lesson. So see you there.